Hey everybody, this is me, Peter. I'm doing a quick video because I sold a few vehicles to different customers and I'm unable to show them the features due to the pandemic going on right now. But for my customers out there, I just want to tell you congratulations, thank you for the purchase, and hope you get the best out of it. And that is the reason I'm doing this video, just to kind of let you guys see what features are available on the vehicle. Depending on which vehicle you purchased, it may be a little bit different. And if that is the case, please reach out to me because I want you to get the best out of your vehicle. And I'll be able to go one-on-one, either through a video, phone call, whatever, and explain a little bit deeper of how to use these features. But right now, I'm going over a Camry just because this month I've sold a couple of new Camrys. So this is the one that's the most anyway that I've sold. So I'm just going to go over a few features with you. Starting off with our SOS button here. So what this does is if you're ever in an accident and airbags were deployed, it's automatically going to call for help, and they talk to you through this intercom here. If you're in an accident and airbags aren't deployed but you do need help, you can always flip it and press the button. This right here is just the typical lights and things, so pretty basic there. But also what this SOS does is it allows you on many vehicles to go through like on an app. It'll allow you to look up what your odometer is, what your gas mile, like your tank is, if doors are locked or unlocked. You can set up for notifications. If someone unlocks your door, it'll notify you. So those are things for many of the vehicles will have that. And also it'll let the dealership know if your vehicle needs maintenance. They'll be able to contact you and set up a maintenance, routine, checkup on your vehicle. So over here is how you're going to navigate through there. All of the Toyotas are touchscreen, so you could click anywhere and it will be touchscreen. You could go to source to play the different types of music. This one happens to have AM, FM, or XM radio. Bluetooth, and down here on the Camry is where you would find for the USB is going to be the Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. And all you need to do is connect it, click allow on your phone, and then it'll pull up. And that makes it super easy to send text messages, navigation, phone calls, all that stuff, and play music. That's the easiest way to do any of that stuff. But if you like the regular way of listening to music, you have all that. And again, it is all touchscreen. Down here on sound, this is what me and my kids, I'm sorry, we have a different setup anyway. So you can have like the different, the highs, lows, all that stuff, fade, balance. This is what I use a lot in my vehicle. When kids are in the back and I'm trying to have a conversation with my wife, I'll push it all the way to the back so they can hear whatever they're listening to. Usually is a movie. And then again, you can put it up in front, so you could always adjust it. But that's going through sound and then the stabilizer or whatever. Again, through here, you do have your typical volume, tune control. These are the AC controls. If you have dual climate, then you'll see a sync where you'll press a sync, and then you'll control it all through the left side. This doesn't have dual climate, so that's why it looks the regular traditional way, the temperature and the fan over here. This is just going to show where it's pointing at. Obviously the front and back. Air. This right here is going to, if you want it sucking air from outside, then you turn that off. Or if you want it to suck air from inside, cool it and send it back out, then you press that. That's the way to get the most cool air. Down here is where, again, the USB for the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, the typical car charger, place to put your phone, opens up and you got a little cubby there. Depending on the vehicle, you may have a charging pad that'll charge your phone. So here is obviously the typical, park, reverse, neutral, drive, but it does allow you to push also into S, which is the standard. And then once it's in standard, you can shift either up or down, and you control your own transmission. Many vehicles, if it's an SE, like a Camry SE or some other vehicles, will have the paddle shifters. So you can use your paddle shifters and see it switch to the different gears. Okay, so that is another option. The way you would use cruise control, you're going to press this button here, this sets the radar, as you can see over there, top left. Like right there, you can see the radar already. You'll set your speed limit, and then you use this button up here to control how far you want to trail behind another vehicle. Now, when you have cruise control on there, this right here is gonna be your lane trace assist. So this, when you're going out of the lane, it's gonna beep to let you know, and it'll give you a very subtle nudge holding you into the lane. If you have a Corolla or a RAV4, then when you're on cruise control, it'll actually hold you directly in the center of the lane. So those two vehicles will hold you directly in the center when you're on cruise control. And if you don't like that, you press one button and the whole holding you in the center, the nudging, the beeping, all of that stuff will go away if you do not like that feature. Over here is how you're going to navigate through your multi-information display, which is that display right there. That's how you'll navigate through that. So I'm just going to start clicking the buttons over to go towards settings, right? But you could set it however you like. You know, whatever thing. Messages means there's nothing wrong with the vehicle, doesn't need maintenance, anything like that. But here, if I want to change the lane departure alert, I'm going to press and hold OK. You just press and hold it, and it'll change to this. Now, the steering assist is that nudging. If I want to shut that off, I could take it off. I could also change how sensitive I want it. The sway warning is the beeping. I could turn that on or off, or I could adjust how sensitive that is. Okay. Now, I'm going to turn that to low. Now, if you have a Corolla or a RAV4, then you'll also see the lane center. And again, you could adjust that or shut it on and off. And that's only on the Corolla or the RAV4. So that'll be one extra feature that you can shut off. And again, that one button will take everything off. Okay, so if you wanted to shut that off, you can. Now, once I want to get out of the lane departure alert, I'm going to go back to the reverse button there to go back out of it, and it takes me out. I'm going to go down to pre-collision system and press and hold OK, and that changes this. So the pre-collision system is what brakes if you're about to get into an accident with a person, a vehicle, or a pedestrian. I'm sorry, like a person on a bicycle. If you're about to hit them, it'll brake to prevent that accident. And slow speeds, it's designed to go to a complete stop. If you're going fast, like, 40 something miles an hour, 30 something miles an hour, it's not designed to go to a complete stop, but it will minimize the amount of damage if you do hit someone. And again, it's not something to be dependent on fully. It's intended to be as a backup, in case you weren't paying attention. It's either going to minimize the amount of damage that happens or hopefully prevent the accident. But if you wanted to shut that off, you could, or you could turn it back on and adjust how sensitive you want it. I personally like this on high. I know some people don't like it on high because it'll go off when they feel like they weren't even going to get into an accident. So it's kind of preference. You can leave it how you like it, but I like it on high. But that's basically that right there. If you, depending on the vehicle, a RAV4, you might have a road sign assist, which is RSA. You might have a couple other things like that, but that's the main stuff you're gonna want on the vehicle. I heard of one other person saying something about the headlights. So let me show you this. Headlights, you spin it to turn them on. You do have the auto, which it'll turn on and off and you won't have to touch it, or you can just turn it all the way on and turn them all the way off yourself. To set high beams on, you have to have the high beams on, obviously, and flick it over. When you do that, you'll see the button there. Okay, so, but that's when your high beams are on. Now, if you want your automatic high beams, it's this button here. It needs to have a light. That is going to tell you that it's going to turn the high beams on and off for you. So see, that is the light there. And so that is the regular light for your headlights. And then that is up there, you'll see the high beam light, or the automatic high beam light. Basically, if you have automatic high beams, what that's going to do for you is it'll, when your headlights are on, it'll turn them off anytime it detects headlights or tail lights. So when you're driving through the city or a freeway or whatever, if somebody's coming towards you or you're getting close to someone, it'll turn to your regular headlights, which is going to look like, you know, your typical regular headlights. So that is one of the things that I know somebody asked me about. And I think that's basically about it. Again, if you guys do have questions, please reach out to me. I always want to make sure every customer I work with has the, you know, gets the most out of the vehicle. And unfortunately, I can't go through the typical stuff like I normally do just because of the pandemic. But I definitely still do want you guys to get everything out of the vehicle. So I hope you guys found it informative. I hope it helps you. If you do have more questions, again, reach out to me and I'll go over it again. I have no problem with that. Hope to talk to you soon. Bye.